Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee, and this is Jay Lee's Corner. First of all, let's try that again. Hello, everyone. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for Marvel's InHumans. This is my second time reviewing this show. Even though this is episode 3, I did watch episode 2, but for some reason I didn't review it. I still liked it, but I didn't review it. Again, I'm new to these characters from Marvel, but I am liking the show, so I was like, I'm going to still review it. You know what I'm saying? You can't only review shows that you get a lot of views from, you know? So I like this show, so I wanted to review it. And it's new, so it's like new and fresh, but I just don't want it to get canceled, you know? That would not be good. This episode picks up where the last one left off, where, you know, Dr. Evans is in the helicopter. Of course, he has saved Black Bolt and the other guy, who I believe his name is Sammy, because they were in jail. And Dr. Evans, like, is a scientist guy or whatever, and he basically wants to figure out the genetics and the DNA of the different InHumans, and that's the reason why he came and got him. Now, I don't trust Dr. Evans, because I never trust people who is out the blue want to help certain people, and then they ask, you know, can I get a DNA sample? You know, I just don't trust people like that. And on the helicopter, that's what he was upfront and honest, yeah, saying, I want to take you to my facility, you know, I kind of want to run some tests, but you guys are free to leave whenever you want. And I'm just like, is he on the up and up? He probably not on the up and up, but we shall see. And Black Bolt, on the other hand, it's like, you know, he wants to find Medusa. He wants to find his wife. And, you know, the doctor says, I'm taking it because you're not talking. Your voice must be your power. But he's like, you know, look, Black Bolt doesn't say it, of course, but he emphasizes he's looking to find his wife. So at that same time, we see that Medusa is still in the car with the scientist lady. I think she's a scientist, because she works like NASA and everything. Her name is Louise. And they're basically speeding down the street, trying to follow the helicopter, and just speeding. Medusa makes her speed so much that now the police are after them. Because, of course, Medusa doesn't know anything about, you can't speed, you can't run red lights. It's against the law here, Medusa, and you will get arrested for it. And, you know, she's shooting her little magic gun, which makes the cop car, you know, blow up a little bit. And Louise is like, what is wrong with you? You can't do that. That's not how things work here. Medusa, Louise does figure out Medusa isn't from here. And it's because she's staring at the moon. And that's when Louise brings up, you know, do you guys live there? You know, we had a rover up there, and it looks like a hoof-headed. You know anything about that? She's like, oh, yeah, that's my cousin Gorgon. You know, he's also here. You know, my other cousin Karnak is here, and I need to find them, as well as my husband. And so Louise, like, I think I have a way to find them. Now, I don't know how she thinks she's going to find them, simply because it's other InHumans there. But, you know, we shall see. But yeah, Medusa did admit that the hoof that she saw was Gorgon's. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to tell people that. But I'm like, is Medusa just being friendly because she's an alien and she doesn't know? Some people don't have the best intentions, and I hope she knows that. So what do they find out? See, like, the rest of the episode is just them running from the cops, basically, as far as Medusa and Louise's beginning scenes of it, where they, you know, ditch the car that they were initially in, and they get another car, and they go to a hotel, but she uses the credit card for the hotel. So the police find her, the police come there, and they're basically just still looking for her. We then find out when Louise and Medusa are talking, because at one point Medusa ditches Louise because she's trying to get to Black Bolt, and Louise is like, for her, it's taking her too long. She's like, look, we have his, you know, address, we have where he is. They put him up on like some kind of weird Google search. I don't know, I wasn't paying that much attention to that part. But Medusa's just trying to follow that and get to him. And when Louise is like, you know, my father was a scientist, and, you know, he always wanted to be up in space, but he didn't, so he kind of, you know, died without figuring, you know, out what he wanted to do with his life. And Medusa's like, well, my parents, you know, followed their ambitions and what they wanted to do, and they were killed for it. So I would prefer to have parents over having no parents. And we see a flashback scene where Medusa and her sister Crystal are finding out their parents have been banished because they were being accused of being traitors. So that's why it's always been just her and her sister. So yeah, we see that part. We do see Crystal is on Earth. The dog is there. The guy who ran into Lockjaw, I'm like, why can't I remember his name? But yeah, the guy who ran into Lockjaw with his motorcycle, she's like, I need you to help me. You know, my dog needs help. And I'm like, does he not realize Lockjaw is a huge dog? Like, I would not be trying to help a huge dog. I would, like, just walk away. And then when he tries to walk close to Crystal, she uses her powers, like, pushing back. And I'm like, again, I would have walked away. But that's just me. He does take her and the dog, the dog, Lockjaw, back to his farm. And he calls the doctor or a veterinarian. But it's really an ex-girlfriend of his who just loves animals and she knows how to treat animals. And, you know, she's kind of like, you can tell it's something between them before we find out they were boyfriend and girlfriend. And Crystal's like, why is they arguing back and forth? It's just weird. And even when the ex-girlfriend sees the dog, she's like, was he crossbreeded with something? Because he's a huge dog. And she was like, no, why would I do that? Because, of course, she's not from here. But the girl, you know, the fake veterinarian just says, you know, the wound isn't that bad, you know, I need to go get some more things from my place, but he should be okay, but he's going to need time to heal, basically. And that kind of was everything that happened with them, too. But back to Black Bolt and Dr. Evans. So we see that Dr. Evans did a DNA test on Black Bolt, and he finds out his DNA is, like, perfect. Just as perfect as perfect can be for an inhuman. And he also kind of figures out Black Bolt's power by saying your DNA shows that there's constant energy being, you know, generated to your vocal cords, making them strong. So your power must be in your voice. You know, it must be very hard for you to not talk, because if you whisper in your sleep, you would kill your wife, which is true. I never thought about that. It's one thing to be able to not talk when you're consciously awoke, but if you sleep, like, that means he can't have any nightmares, because again, if he whispers a word, she would die. That is crazy. So he was saying how that power is amazing yet terrifying, because you have the power to, you know, end your, you know, kill your whole family just within a whisper. We then see him walk out like, okay, I have to go make a phone call. And who does he call? He calls Maximus. So in my head, I'm putting two and two together. All the other Inhumans that were being hunted, followed, or whatever, Maximus is behind it all. We saw that part last out, and we saw he was the reason that Triton was either killed or lost at sea, because we don't know if he's really dead yet. We don't know. But now we see he's also in contact with Dr. Evans, who has been collecting these Inhumans with these special abilities, and he's been talking to Maximus. I wonder how, though. You know? So, we shall see. So, you know, when they're talking, you know, Maximus is basically upset that Black Bolt is alive and well on Earth. And not only that, that when he got there, him being arrested by the police made it on the news. So it's like news on Earth. So he's like, well, dang, you know, it would be hard for me to say he's dead or he's gone to people of our world, because he's on Earth and they will see that kind of stuff. So he suggests Dr. Evans just kills him. You know, he's like, you know, just kill him. It's easier for me. And Dr. Evans is like, that's crazy. His DNA is so terrific. You know, we can use it to save people's lives here because his DNA is just so perfect. And Maximus is like, but you don't need him alive to get his DNA. And he's like, well, no, I do, because when people die, their DNA instantly changes. So if I kill him, it wouldn't be the same. I have to get his DNA when he's alive. But the funny part about it is Black Bolt, he was having Black Bolt look through some pictures of the different Inhumans who are there in his facility, because of course he's looking for his wife. And, you know, he noticed, you know, of course we know none of them is of Medusa, but he's looking at the photos or at the digital images, and the people look like they, you know, it's captured. They don't look like they free. So yeah, he kind of notices things that is a little off with how the patients are being held, and he keeps seeing people walking around with like weird needles and stuff. So Black Bolt is paying attention. I'm like, he's very attentive to things. Even though he doesn't talk, he says so much with his face, and I love it. We see that Karnak is still, in my book, helping drug dealers in one way or the other. He's still on this little farm with the two guys and the girl who's very trusting. The two guys, I don't know any of their names yet. I don't. But it's the girl. It's the guy who is paranoid about everything. He was the one who wanted to kill him when he first got there. He's the crazy one. And then you have the other guy who's sensible, who's like, it's cool to have another, person's hands here to help us. It's not that bad. So you have the girl who likes Karnak. We can tell that she likes him. The guy who's like, we can trust him. You didn't even trust me when I first got here. It's okay. And then the paranoid person. The paranoid person, I'm just going to say this now, I don't think we can trust him. I don't. And I wrote that in my notes, actually. And, I still wonder, does Karnak realize that they making weed? Like, he's on a weed farm, basically. So that's like, yeah. But yeah, he's basically still helping them, and he's helping them be more efficient. He's like, if you use the spring water, it will reduce your manual labor, because, of course, they don't have to walk around watering their area. And he's like, and it would increase productivity, will increase produce. So yeah, we have productivity by however much percent. And with that whole thing, I can wrap it up in one fell swoop. The girl likes him. Okay, she can see he's a little different. He is a little tense because he's used to analyzing things, and he's trying to get back to himself. So she takes him down to the water so they can go for a swim. So she's taking her clothes off, and he's like, well, do the other guys come here and do this sometime? And she was like, well, yeah, one does. The other one, not so much. They get in the water, and they're swimming and stuff, and she kisses him. Well, because he doesn't get in the water at first because he can't swim. So she kind of coaxes him to get into the water. She helps him into the water and everything, and then she kisses him. And he's like, what did you do that for? She's like, well, because I wanted to. I think you wanted me to. But as that happens, paranoid man is watching them. He's like behind a rock watching, because he's paranoid and he's thinking, what they sneaking off to, where they going? So he was watching and he saw them kiss. And you can tell he doesn't like it. And, when they go back to the camp, and they're first or whatever, and she asks paranoid guy, hey, where's friendly guy? And he's like, oh, he went to handle some stuff. He'll be back, he'll be back a little later. She's like, oh, okay. But he looked like he can't be trusted when he says it. That's what he looks like. We'll come back to them later. Gorgon is still, of course, with those guys. The one guy's name, I think his name is Holo. It's Holo. I looked it up on IPD. And the little thing you can Google characters, I looked up his name. And so he's still carrying around a dead body. I don't know why Gorgon is still carrying around the dead body of the guy. I don't know if they just didn't want to bury him somewhere, but I just wouldn't want to be carrying a dead person with me. I don't know if that's what I wanted to do. But he's upset because he feels like it's his fault that this human is dead. He is saying, this won't be a fair fight. I feel like they're still after us, and if they're on our heels and they catch us, it's not going to be a fair fight. It's just not. And Holo was like, well, that doesn't mean we can't win. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to be encouraging and uplifting to Gorgon. And, it's fine or whatever. We do see that Ariane, I might be pronouncing her name wrong too, but it looked like it's A-U-R-A-N, Aaron. Okay. She is still on their heels. We also see that Mortis, the guy who, when he takes his mask off, he just shoots death. Okay. Whatever it's like fire and brimstone or whatever. So they're still like walking through the jungle as well. Gorgon feels like he needs to find Karnak, is when we see a little bit later on. And, he doesn't want Alo's help at all. And he's like, I don't want y'all to get hurt because I'm trying to, one, save my family. But I do feel like now you guys are family too. So I was like, aw, isn't that nice? And so he runs off because Agor's trying to get back to the water, because he was saying, Lockjaw transported us here. But when he transports, it takes energy away from him. So sometimes if he does it too much, he gets a little lazy. Hence the reason he placed them all on Earth in different locations because he was transporting so much back to back to back to back. So he's trying to get back to the water because he's like, he had to have brought Karnak somewhere close to where I was. So I need to go back there and find him. And that's basically what he does. Maximus. Maximus and the actor who plays him just is too Ramsay Bolton for me. I feel like he should have taken a role that was less evil, solely because I hate him just as much as I hated Ramsay Bolton. And I don't hate him as Maximus. I hate him because he's Ramsay Bolton. You know, I think he's still doing a good job playing the evil guy, which, you know, he is doing a good job at that. But I still see him as Ramsay Bolton. But anywho, you know, he wants the genetic council to basically let him become human again so that he can go back through the pterogenesis machine thing, which gives them or reveals to them what their powers are. And that's basically against the council rules. And, you know, his friend who he was talking to in the earlier scene, who Maximus feels like he betrayed him when they were younger, because when Maximus went through the telegenesis the first time and became flat out human, he says the friend kind of abandoned him. So now this same friend is on the genetic council. And, you know, when he asked the genetic council for the, you know, to allow him to, you know, do this, basically this genetic testing on himself, the friend is like, you know, we as a council, we can't allow that. And then Maximus, Ramsay Bolton, walks up to him and he says, do I have your allegiance? And then he says, no, do I have your loyalty? And he says, yeah, you do. He was like, prove it. I'm like, you all, oh my God. It's just so Ramsay Bolton. I'm just picturing him trying to fight Jon Snow. And Black Bolt is Jon Snow. That's what I picture, but whatever. So we also see that Maximus is talking to Arryn and telling her, you know, we can't kill Black Bolt now. And she's like, you know, you worry about what's going on there. I'll worry about what's going on here. And that was their little part of the conversation. There's also a scene where Black Bolt and Sammy realize, hey, these people here aren't here on their own for real. I think they're here as prisoners. And they check like the needles they keep seeing the staff holding, and they realize it is poison in the needles. And they like, we gotta go. So, you know, they're trying to hurry up and leave and everything. So from there, it goes back to Maximus, who, are we surprised at what Maximus did next? No, I'm not surprised. Maximus literally had the genetic council, except for his one friend, banished. But I'm like, is that how they banish people? They beat him up and stuff? I mean, is he telling people that they're banished, but he is really killing them? Because to me, it looked like they was being murdered. It did not look like a banishment. I'm just saying. That's what I think. And then there's a scene of his friend asking him if he can forgive him for his betrayal of them as a teenager. And he's like, I think, you know, forgiveness is overrated. I didn't write anything down as far as him killing the friend. So I don't know what happened. I can't remember, but I don't think, and he didn't kill him because I would have worried out like, oh my God, I can't believe Ramsay Bolton killed his friend again. But yeah, but he's basically doing all of this just so that he can go back through the telekinesis thing, telegenesis thing to get more power. That's always what the evil people want, power. And I just can't wait for him to get his comeuppance. I just hope it don't take a few seasons how it took him to get his comeuppance on Game of Thrones. That's my personal opinion. So the next thing that we see is Arryn has found Black Bolt. I don't know how she found him. I honestly don't. I'm guessing. No, I do know, because when Maximus was talking to the doctor basically let him know that Black Bolt was there. He called her and told her where he is and where she could find him. That was how it happened. So she finds him, has a little gun to his head, and she's like, look, bam, we have Medusa. If you don't come with us, we're going to kill her. If you come with us, she'll live. And, you know, Sammy's right there, and he opens, like, because we know that Mortis is still there. So when Mortis comes around and he's about to take his face off, which, you know, lets out fire and brimstone and everything, he, like, bends a gas pipe, which makes gas come out everywhere. Sammy runs away, so Sammy's gone. And she's like, smart. Because if Mortis takes off his mask, everything will explode. And then she's like, you know what? Do it anyway. And I'm like, you want everybody to die? Do you? And as he's about to take his mask off, we see Louise, whoever, and Medusa speed up in the car, and Medusa opens the door, which knocks Mortis over, and his mask does open up, and he blows up the gas thing, and it's like, boom, big explosion. Everyone like flies away. And I'm like, oh my God, who's dead? Who's alive? Come on now, what's going on? So I'm like, well, did the car blow up? Because it was right there. You know, did Black Bolt blow up? What happened? So we see Black Bolt did not blow up. We see that Auron is down. She's, you know, a little bit burned and everything. He does pull her out the way when he sees that she is still sort of kind of alive. And then what does he see? He sees Medusa. And they run to each other now, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing that they're finally reunited. And, you know, he touches her. They kiss, of course. And he touches her head. And she was like, no. Maximus cut her hair. And he looked mad, like, he cut your hair? He cut your hair? It's how he looked at her. And it was just, you know, again, I'm new to this, so everything for me is brand new. People who watch, you know, maybe read the comics or know more about the characters might be like, why is she so excited? Because I'm new to it, damn it, okay? Let me have this. So, from there, we see Mortis is still alive. So I'm like, okay, I need Black Bolt to go over and whisper in Mortis's ear. Because we see Mortis is like kind of waking up, moving around. Because his face is usually red when he's awake or whatever. But it was, you know, black. So, I mean, he was knocked out. And then as he was moving a little bit, his eyes went from being black to being red because he's waking up. I'm like, okay, Black Bolt, go whisper in his ear. Like, because if you whisper in his ear, maybe just he'll die. You know? It's maybe, but I'm like, no. I remember in the beginning of the first episode when they were showing his power, I guess they were saying the older he gets, the stronger his power gets. So now that he's a grown man, he can't speak at all because it'll blow up a lot of space. So I'm like, I just need him to, I just want him to whisper in Mortis' ear. But he didn't. They basically put, you know, Auron in the car because they're like, she can lead them to the others. And they pull off. But I'm like, I need y'all to kill Mortis because now Mortis' crazy self is there. And what is he going to do? Okay? And then the last thing that we see is, you know, Carmack and the girl is getting freaky entertained. You know, getting freaky. And the guy, paranoid guy, is digging the ditch. I'm looking like, he out there digging the ditch because he gonna kill Karnak. Oh my God, Carmack, why is he gonna kill Karnak? No. That is just not a good thing. And as he's digging his ditch, we see he's not digging the ditch to dig for Karnak. He has already killed Trusting Guy. You killed Trusting Guy and then told said girl he went somewhere else. He's really a paranoid, crazy person. So it was a good episode. I really did love it. I will be reviewing the next one. Again, I'm new to this whole franchise thing of the Marvels, of the InHumans, and these characters. I'm still a fan of Black Bolt. I love Medusa. I am wondering, like, if her hair grows back, will she get her powers back? Like, or with him cutting her hair off, is her powers gone forever? So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to see. I'm also looking forward to see Crystal in a more powerful light, I guess, you know. I'm wondering if Karnak analyzing powers are back, if he can kind of analyze things now. So I really want to see that. And I want to see, you know, Black Bolt have a conversation with Maximus. So that was my review of Marvel's InHumans. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Please feel free to put your comments below in the comment section. You can also subscribe to my page, like the video, and share the video. Until next time, people. Peace.